Here's a harsh truth. You can have the best branding, killer packaging, and influencer buzz out this world. But if your unit economics doesn't work, your CPG business will not survive, point blank. But don't panic, because I'm going to break down what unit economics is in simple terms. You can finally understand what investors, distributors, and co-packers, and of course buyers are really asking for when they say, hey, what's your margin? Welcome back to another CPG 101. It's your boy Eric, where I give you all the good tips and information that you need to take your CPG brand to the next level. If you ever stared at your spreadsheet and wondered, what does all this mean for my business? What does all this mean? All these numbers. This video is for you. If you ever just stared at stuff and was like, I don't get it. Where's this coming from? How do I break this down? This video is for you. And it deals with knowing your numbers to grow your brand. And since we do everything in steps, let's break it down to step 1. Unit economics. It simply means how much money you make or lose on each unit you sell. Because every unit tells a story. It tells a story dealing with what it costs to make, what it sells for, how much profit you keep after cost. And of course, when you understand that a story controls your destiny, you're going to be making sure that you pay attention to every unit cost, because unit economics equals profit per unit. Step 2, let's break down the unit cost. Yes, let's break it down for you. So when we're breaking down unit cost, your unit cost includes the following ingredients or materials: packaging, bottles, labels, boxes, co-packer or labor cost, freight, getting materials to the plant, or freight out, shipping, finished goods to consumers or customer, however you want to say it. Now, add those together, and that's your cost of goods sold, or as we like to say, your COGS. Let's give an example. If your energy drink costs $1.25 to make, that's your COGS. That's your cost of goods sold. COGS equals total production cost per unit. That's what it equals to. Step 3, you gotta know your selling price and your gross margin. You gotta know your selling price and you gotta know your gross margin. Now you take your selling price and subtract your COGS. That's your gross. Does that make sense? That's your gross profit per unit. Let's give another example. If your wholesaler price is $250 and your COGS is $125, $250 minus $125 equals $125. That's your gross profit per unit that you're making when you sell to a wholesaler. To get your gross margin percentage, you need to make sure you do it like this: gross profit divided by selling price equals margin. In this case, it's 125 divided by 250 equals a 50% margin. Now in CPG, that's healthy, because most CPG brands need about 40 to 50% margins when it comes to selling at wholesale to survive. You got to always think about that. When you sell to wholesale, you got to make sure you make enough money to be able to live off of it, because gross margin equals sales price minus COGS divided by. Step 4, you got to understand wholesale versus retail versus D2C margins. Every margin is different on different platforms. Your margin changes depending on how you sell. We all got to know that. If you're selling wholesale, you sell to a distributor or a retailer. They buy it at 50% of retail price. When you're selling direct to consumer, that means from your website to your customer, you sell online. The price will be a higher price, but also have higher cost. Let's give some examples. You sell to Whole Foods for $2.50. They retail it for $4.99, your same product. Or you sell on Shopify, your website, for $4.99, but you pay $125 in shipping plus $1 for ads. When it comes to different channels, you have different margins. And you always got to remember that. When you have different channels, you'll have different margins. Step 5, don't forget overhead and operational expenses. Please do not forget about that. Gross margin is great, but it's not the full picture. Please remember, this is a whole box. You got to look at everything. You still have to pay for a founder's salary if you're taking a salary in the beginning. I suggest you shouldn't. Warehouse, 3PL fees if you're using 3PL, marketing and sampling, insurance, accounting software if you're using those things. And those are your operating expenses or your OPX. And they come after your gross profit. So after your gross profit, then you got to take out your operation expenses. If your unit margin can't support your operation expenses, your business can't scale. And it won't be sustainable to be able to take it to the next level, because your operating expenses will eat through all your gross profit and hurt you. You got to remember, a healthy unit economics equals margin covers for operation expenses. You got to be able to cover those operation expenses if you want your business to grow to the next level. Step 6, contribution margin. The real profit driver. The real profit driver. Your contribution margin is your gross profit minus variable cost like shipping, commissions, or promos. Just random stuff that comes up here and there. It tells you what's left over to cover those fixed expenses and also to make sure you handle growth. Example, we like to use examples. If your gross profit per unit is $1.25, but you spend 35 cents on shipping and 15 cents on promos, your contribution margin is 75 cents because you got to take it out of that. That's your real profit from each sale, because you got to take it out of your gross profit. Because if you don't, you won't be actually figuring out how much you make after you do all your spending for expenses. Yeah. Step 7. Volume and scale. Why it matters? It definitely matters if you want to go to the next level. At low volume, your unit costs are high. Of course, everybody knows that. But as you grow, costs drop. And that's the economics of scaling. Let's give them another example. At 1,000 units, packaging costs 50 cents each. But at 50,000 units, it drops to 25 cents each. That's because scaling smartly means balancing growth with cash flow. Please don't chase volume unless your margins can handle it. And you're ready as well too. Don't go chasing the money. Grow when you're ready and your margins are ready to handle everything, and you have the cash flow to handle your growth. Number 8, the 3 numbers every founder should know. When you're running your business, these are the numbers you should know at the top of your head, because it's going to help you when it comes to growing your business and making sure that you don't lose money. And those 3 numbers are COGS per unit. You can know how much it costs to make your product. Gross margin percentage, how much you keep per sale. And then 3, break even volume. How many units you need to sell to cover your expenses. It's very important that you know these things, because if you don't know these, you're guessing, and guessing kills brands. You don't want to be out here like Walking Dead, not knowing where you're going. Make sure you know your numbers. Own your future. Own your destiny. Own the trajectory of where you want your CPG brand to go. Because a lot of CPG brands fail because no one kept up with the numbers. Some people were spending willy-nilly and thought they had enough. And then all of a sudden 30, 60, 90 kicked in, and now you have invoices that are backed up and you didn't get any money. Now you're taking out loans. Now you're giving up percentage of your company to pay off stuff, and it's just downhill from there. Step 9, the investor and buyer perspective. Yes, the investor and buyer perspective. When an investor or retailer asks, hey, what are your margins? They're not being nosy What they're doing is they're testing your understanding and your knowledge of your own CPG business to make sure you understand it and that you can speak on it. Strong founders know their numbers, and strong founders can speak on it whenever it is. Because if you can confidently say, we're at 48% gross margin, this instantly builds credibility when it comes to talking to a retailer or a buyer, because they know that you know your numbers and you won't be constantly stumbling around wondering what you need to sell or how you need to sell it or what the price will be. You're sure with your price and you won't be talked off a ledge when anybody comes to you. That's just the honest truth. Because if you don't know your numbers, retailers and buyers can easily finagle you and make you go lower, and then now you're losing on every sale to that retailer because you don't know your numbers and you're not sticking by your guns. Step 10. The bottom line out of all of this, here's the truth. And this is from one CPG lover to another. Margins tell you what's possible. Good branding gets you on shelves, but good unit economics keeps you in business and keeps you on the shelves to keep making more money to grow. Make sure you track it, know it, optimize it, and understand your numbers always. Because when you understand, it opens up doors, it allows you to have good margins, and it allows you to continue to grow, to hire more people, and also be able to keep the lights on so that you can feed yourself, feed others, and eventually take a salary for yourself as well. Make sure you know your numbers, like they always say. Know what it costs to make your goods, your COGS. Know what it takes to ship or to sell your COGS online or to ship to a retailer. Also know how much you're going to make after all operating expenses are taken out. It's very important to know your numbers. When you know your numbers, you will be successful in this CPG game. Too many people have failed because they didn't simply pay attention to the numbers. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This has been another CPG one-on-one with me, your boy Eric, where I give you tips, suggestions, and ideas and explanations on different CPG topics that you may not know, so that we can help you scale your business from being here to taking it to the moon and even higher. That's what it's all about, creating a community where we can all discuss CPG, and if we have any questions, we can discuss them, talk through them, and then making sure that we give you the right answer so that we can help your business grow. Please, please, please make sure you like and subscribe below. And if you have any comments, leave them below. Let us know, when you started your CPG business, what was the first thing they told you to worry about? Was it COGS? Was it gross profit margin? Were you more concerned with labels? Leave a comment below and tell us what was the first thing you were more concerned with. Lastly, please, if this video was helpful for you, share it with all your CPG founder friends or people who are looking to start a CPG business. Share it with them so they can become knowledgeable, so they can know a little bit more as well, because that's what it's all about. Just sharing good information, helping each other out, and making sure that as a CPG founder, you're getting the support that you need so that you can get out there and you can have the next $100 million CPG brand that's all over the place that people love and want to try. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And of course, once again, it's me, your boy, Eric.